As a church leader, your time and resources are limited. It's difficult to find discipleship and Bible study materials that are affordable, easily accessible, and high quality. But there is a way to equip the people in your church every day of the week without losing sleep. Welcome to Right Now Media, the world's largest library of video-driven Bible study resources, used by more than 20,000 churches, schools, and organizations. With a Right Now Media subscription, everyone in your church can access thousands of biblical resources for kids, couples, small groups, and more. Give your members access to great content, anytime, anywhere, on any device.
And God specifically says, the way you think, that's not the same way I think.
Equip and inspire everyone in your church beyond Sunday.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me in Solomon's Temple. My name is Solomon Nizami Shams, and it's so great to have you here. And I hope also you've had a great week so far. I hope your family and you yourself and all that you do is going on okay. I want to encourage you to keep the faith. I'm straight out from Johannesburg here in South Africa, and I hope wherever you are, any part of the world, you're doing well. Thank you so much for being here. To everyone who is a regular subscriber, who subscribes, so you become a regular viewer, thank you so much. And for those of you who haven't subscribed yet, can I encourage you to please do so? And please make sure you access the about 200 videos that I have created. I created that video for you, not for myself. So please check them out on different issues. I'm sure it's going to be a blessing. Thank you, everyone who's joining us on this particular broadcast. Evelyn, you're here in your first all the way from Switzerland. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Skumbuzo says, hi, Solomon, watching in Braamfontein. It's a good exemplary sign to do so, and silence as well. And the anti-vaxxers who are claiming it's the mark of the beast have been jabbed and born again. Indeed, and that would not change it. Never change it. Musima says, hi, Uncle Solomon, watching from Jos. Are you sure you're from Jos? Where in Jos are you? That's my hometown. Rose, good morning, Brother Solomon. Thank God for all of us in this new month. Yes, in the month of October, we bless the Lord. Thank you, Pen. Okay, Pen actually saying hello, Uncle Solomon. Thank you. Thank you, Lucia, all the way from NC. Kate from Zambia. We got Rigobert from Tanzania, Tony from the UK, Dawn from Bahamas, and Elizabeth Adeyemi from Florida. Thank you, Osinachi. Good to have you here also. Thank you, Priscilla. Blessings to you too, Andrea, maybe if you say in Danish, from Barbados. Thank you, Kona, from the Eastern Cape, from that beautiful city by the sea. Thank you so much. Dine from Namibia, Maria, good to have you here, and Zimela, also good to have you here. Kid, you're from Livingstone. Yeah, you're from Livingstone. Thank you, guys. Thank you, every one of you guys who tune in at this point. Thank you, Tony, all the way from Brazil. Thank you. Obrigado. Bon dia. Bon dia. Obrigado. Thank you so much, everybody who is here. I want to talk about, something that I feel is very, very positive. Depending on what part of the fence you were sitting, I'm sitting on the side of the fence where I feel the vaccine for COVID-19 is a great idea. Is not the mark of the beast. Is not 66666. It has nothing to do with the conspiracy theory that we have created. Now, even if it does, don't you feel that the God that we serve, the Almighty God that we serve, even if there's an agenda against mankind, against the black race through this vaccine, don't you feel like the God that we serve could actually turn things around, could actually scuffle everything? Come on, people. Do you know the kind of God that we serve? You think he's just going to fold his arms and just watch humanity being wiped out by certain so-called, maybe from your own perspective, greedy people. I cannot just get my head around it. I cannot just get my head around it. Remember, historically, there's quite a few personalities and agendas that have come against mankind, but it never really succeeded. People trying to dominate the world, people like Adolf Hitler from Germany, and all that kind of stuff. Historically, there's been there, but God is on the throne. He is the creator. Whatever agenda that we have that is against humanity, that's just a little idea that cannot be compared to the big and mighty God that we serve. So the vaccine for COVID-19, I had taken it. I took the first jab. I took the second jab. The second one, I took it, I think, about 4 or 5 weeks ago, and I'm fine. Nothing has happened to me. I am great. I am great. And there's a lot of people also that are very great. There is no research that have shown that COVID-19, like that the vaccine for COVID-19 has taken the lives of people, that it was the vaccine that took them. Maybe there's another reason why maybe they took the vaccine and they passed away or whatever, but there is no factual reasons. And in Africa, we've always been pushing that conspiracy theory, saying, well, that's an agenda against us. In Nigeria, that a lot has been going on. We've seen people like Pastor Chris Oyakilome from Christ Embassy coming out and giving us this whole lecture around 5G, 6G, around the conspiracy, around the agenda against this. And we are part of saying, we're not going to take this. We're not going to take this. This is against us. I'm not taking it. Trust me. Some of these pastors will go and take it secretly and would not tell you. Pastor Chris, I believe he's one of those guys that would go and take the vaccine secretly and would never tell you. He would never. Can you imagine Pastor Chris staying in Nigeria for 6 months or even a year without going to the US or without going to the UK? Because that's what's going to happen. If you don't take the vaccine, they're not going to let you into their country. Even South Africa is not going to let you in. With these guys, the kind of life that they live, they want to go and follow Sama. They want to go where the money is. No. So people like Bishop David Oyedepo also has been sort of like not a big fan of the vaccine. So you can imagine with his 2-3 private jets, he's like he can only fly across Africa a few places, but he cannot go up to Europe, he cannot go up to the US, he cannot come down to South Africa and all that. That's just it. And that's the reason why we have someone like Pastor Enoch Adeboye actually using wisdom to actually say, actually, if they want me to take that, I will take that. Because he has never actually said that people should not take the vaccine. So he is one of the leaders that has never, because one thing with Pastor Enoch Adeboye, if you understand, he's very slow to speak. He doesn't say things when everyone is responding to things. He doesn't respond. He takes his time. So on Friday at the Holy Ghost ground, they call it, outside Lagos, they had this monthly Holy Ghost meeting, and he made a statement regarding his position with the vaccine. And this is the very first time that he's making a statement, in that regard. And it's very important for people like Pastor Enoch Adeboye to make such statements or to tell us their position. And at least now we have one of the most prominent Christian leaders in Nigeria, in Africa, actually saying that I'm going to take the vaccine. So what's going to happen to the other ones? Very soon, you're going to see some other pastors who will begin to say the same thing now. Because they don't think for themselves. They just follow what others are doing. They don't sit down and think. What are the implications of taking it? What are the implications of not taking it? They do not do that objectively. So let's just go through what Pastor Enoch Adeboye actually said, right? I want us to look at it, to look at his words, what he said exactly on Friday. So this is what he said, right? So obviously, the general overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, we all know him, Pastor Enoch Adeboye, has explained that he will receive COVID-19 vaccine for the sake of the gospel. He's going to take it for the sake of the gospel. He will receive the vaccine for the sake of the gospel. What does that tell us? One, he has not taken the vaccine yet. Two, he's ready to take the vaccine. If he's saying for the sake of the gospel, what does it mean? Because he's a minister of the gospel. So he knows that if he doesn't take it, it's going to affect his ministration as a minister of the gospel. So he's saying he's going to take it for the sake of the gospel, right? For the sake of the gospel. Some people are saying, actually, for the sake of the gospel, they're not going to take it, because if they take it, they will be going against scriptures. When I hear Christians saying that taking the vaccine means they're going against scriptures, or they do not have enough faith and trust in God, I just get baffled. It takes me to a place of shock that you can actually analyze and come to that sort of very flawed conclusion. You fail to acknowledge the role of science, and science is actually God's own way of helping us to get healing, helping us to get immune against diseases, and that's what it is. Science is not evil. Even if there are people that are evil who are scientists, it's fine. That's the way that it works. Even pastors, there are pastors. The church is not evil, but then there are pastors who are evil. That's just the way that it is. Any way that you go to, you get people who have evil intentions. So he went on to say, Adeboye said, I have never said to you, don't be vaccinated. You have never heard that from me. Rather than live in fear or doubt, get vaccinated. If you believe that you're getting vaccinated, that you getting vaccinated will put your mind at rest, then go ahead. Wow. So actually, Enoch Adeboye had never said that. He had never encouraged people not to get vaccinated. He had never encouraged anyone. Rather, he's actually telling them, go and get vaccinated. If you have doubt or if you live in fear, go and get vaccinated. He didn't even spend time telling them why just maybe the vaccination might not be of God and all that. Obviously, because he is a mathematician. He's sort of like a scientist. He knows these things. He has a PhD in applied mathematics. So he's a scientist. And here he's saying, go and get vaccinated. All right, sorry about that. He's a scientist. He's not going to begin to discredit the templates of science because he knows this truth. He believes in it. He knows that science also reveals truth. And science also provides solutions inspired by God. He didn't say, well, don't go and be a guinea pig or whatever. No, but he is taking it. You think the biggest of the pastors and the bishops in Nigeria against the vaccine, which people like them, Pastor Chris and Bishop David Oyedepo, you think they're not going to take the vaccine? They're going to take the vaccine at the end of the day. Because if they don't take the vaccine, they're not going to be able to travel. They'll be constrained to be in Nigeria. And these guys have private jets. These guys travel a lot. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. This is what he said to continue with his statement. He continued and said, but now he's saying, people might say, Daddy, are you saying that you too could be vaccinated? If there are nations in the world that say that I cannot come to preach the gospel there because of vaccination, I will do anything for Jesus Christ. So some of you guys are saying, well, you cannot fire me because, if you say I'm not going to get vaccinated. No. Do you know your place of work is your pulpit? That's where God has called you to do. That's where God has called you to spread the gospel. So get vaccinated and go back to working and spread the gospel. That's what it is. Because there are going to be nations. It's almost going to be every nation that will tell you that if you're not vaccinated, I'm sorry, you cannot come into our country. What are you going to do about it? You're going to miss opportunities to go and minister. You're going to miss opportunities to go and get educated or to go and do some course. You think that is what God would want you to do or how God would want you to handle it? No, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. Okay, let's continue. He went on to say, if vaccination or no vaccination is going to hinder me from doing the work of God, the work God has called me to do, even if they ask me to be vaccinated 100 times, I will be vaccinated. Can you feel that? Can you see that? And some people are just there not knowing that even their workplace where they're asking them to get vaccinated, that is their pulpit. That is where God has called them to spread the gospel. So now if you don't get vaccinated, you stay at home or you get fired, how are you going to spread the gospel to the people at your workplace? How are you going to be a disciple, out there at your workplace? But we don't think about it that way. You think God would allow you not being vaccinated to be a hindrance to the gospel or to the vision that he has given you? It's common sense, to be honest with you. That's why I think with Pastor Adeboye didn't even go in depth into explaining and telling people, well, this vaccine is this and that. He's actually showed that. He said, even if they say I have to get vaccinated 100 times, I will, for the sake of the gospel, for me to travel to these places. What does that say? It means that one, he believes the vaccine is okay. And two, even if the vaccine is not okay, God, the God who sent him, the God who is his father, will protect him, will give him immunity against any sort of, complications that will come with taking the vaccine. He is 79 years of age. He's 79. And then we're here allowing other people to push their agenda to tell us this. And I'm telling you, Pastor Chris would take this vaccine, whether he likes it or not. He would take the vaccine. Watch it. But when he takes it, he's not going to come out publicly and tell you, or he's not going to come out publicly and take the vaccine and take pictures, just like he did when he dismantled and discredited the vaccine and COVID in a very shameful, unscientific, and unscriptural way, the way he did it last year. if we trust God, we're being like David's brothers, saying, David, don't go and take Goliath. Don't go and take Goliath. You can't go to that fight. But David is saying, no, I'll go to that fight. We're not the same size. He's a giant. I'm not. He's a veteran warrior. I'm not. I've only dealt with a bear and a lion. But I know the God. Remember when David went and saw Goliath? You remember his statement, what he told Goliath? He told him, no. Today is not about me. It's about the God that I serve. So are we saying we're not going to do certain things? Where do we? I'm still trying to understand it. That's why we don't take risk as Christians. That's why, and when we don't take risk, we don't see God coming through. We don't take, and just jump. When he says jump, jump. Yes, you calculate before you jump, but you know that even if you jump and it's risky, your main safety net is God himself. I'm telling you, a lot of these pastors and bishops that would come out and speak against the vaccine, they would go behind the scene and get their vaccine. They would never tell you. They will never talk about it from the pulpit. Can you imagine Pastor Chris Man coming out and telling you that he's taking the vaccine because of this, and that? No. After all the lectures that he has given the church and people with all that graph and everything, you know what that is going to do? Because he's a charlatan, he's going to affect his credibility. And charlatans don't want to say something and then come and correct themselves. No, they don't roll like that at all. If there's anything that charlatans and false prophets don't do, is they don't take back their word once they say it. Even if it's a lie, they don't take that. Even if they discover it's an error, they don't take it back, because that's part of the rule. No, that would make you look weak before people. That would discredit you before other people. So they stay back from it. But I'm glad that Adeboye himself encouraged people. He encouraged people. Say, no, if you want to take it, go and take it. Go and take it. Go and take it. That's the best for you. He never went on to talk about all this 666 and the mark of the beast and all these things that we created and put it out there. There's a statement here that's very, okay, this is Chi Fine Babe. Chi Fine Babe lives in the US. She's a regular viewer. And I've never met her, so I don't know her, but she's in the medical profession. This is what she said. I wish I have the liberty to give you details, but I am constrained. Pastor Chris has taken his COVID vaccine. This is the same man that came out and had a huge lecture against the vaccine and against COVID. But after taking it, he's never going to tell you. Obviously, she's in the medical profession, so obviously there's some sort of sense of confidentiality in it. But he's never going to tell you. If you see Pastor Chris flies to the US, know that he has taken the vaccine. If you see him flying to South Africa or flying to Europe, no. If you see him ministering in any of these places, no, he has taken the vaccine. Any of these pastors who kept going around and bishops and telling you, no, I'm not going to take the vaccine and all that. If you see them flying here and going there internationally, no, they've taken the vaccine. They're lying to you. They don't even have the decency and the humility to come and take back their word and let people and tell people they've taken the vaccine so they can help people, but they're lying to people just because of their ego. They don't want to go out and correct themselves, whilst people are getting infected and they're dying. It's sad. It's sad. Even Harley here is saying, Harley, where you? Harley Abi up here. I see I saying Pastor Chris has taken the vaccine already. Yeah. Double M says the vaccine is very safe. My entire family, including my 2 boys, have taken the vaccine and we're all fine. No side effects. I never had any side effects myself, just like you, Double M. I took the vaccine. My wife took it. We're fine. But when we think the pastors or the bishops are the ones that should tell us. The biggest mistakes that we make is we're allowing pastors and bishops and prophets to tell us about science. They are not scientists. Please shut up. You're not a scientist. You are a clergyman, probably a theologian, some of you. You are not a scientist. Shut up. Just tell us limited things and all that and allow us to make up our minds, but don't come and tell us don't do it. No. Say if you want to do it, fine. If you don't want to do it, fine. But this is my position. But when you come and give us lectures and all that kind of stuff, Hallie says vaccination has no relation with the gospel. If the vaccine was a tattoo, will he take a tattoo 100 times to preach the gospel? He needs vaccine to travel, period. They know. Don't take it, and you don't take it. Some of them would, hey, amen, because they are men of God, or because they build a church of 100,000 or millions of people, doesn't mean they don't lie. Doesn't mean they're not human. Doesn't mean they don't make mistakes. They're not God. We must know that, and we must address them as such. Their word is not final. Watch all of them. Don't take the vaccine, and we'll see. We'll see how you're going to travel. You see how you're going to travel. Maybe you just disappear in the spirit and then appear in the spirit over there, like Johnson Suleiman with that his funny miracle that he said happened. Now, let's see. Just disappear in the spirit and just appear there in the spirit. They would arrest you and put you in jail for being there without a visa or for being there and not coming through the proper channel. Talma says lies. He's doing it for his pocket because he must learn to trust in the Lord. His cards, their pockets, and will dry up. You have to also understand a lot of African preachers and Nigerian preachers, they need to go to Europe. They need to go to the US because they make so much money there. You know that. They make money in pounds, in dollars, in euros. You know that. So they need to. They need to go. And you need to take the vaccine. And then they leave people like you and I. We're not millionaires. We don't have private jets. We don't have the best access to medical care. And then we are refusing to take it, putting your life in danger. Anyway, it's your choice, isn't it? It's your choice. Nobody should force you to take it. It's your right to choose whether you want to take it or not. But I'm tired of pastors and so-called men of God coming out and telling people they shouldn't take it because it's the 666, it's this, mark of the beast. There's an agenda against mankind, against Black people. You're gonna grow horns. Like, what in the world? Where did we love conspiracy theories? We love things that are not just true at all. Does not even add up in science, and don't even add up biblically. Christina Johnson says, good morning, everyone. The pastors are the greatest liars in the universe. The only thing they may not lie about are their names. Ali says our sense of reasoning was taken away by pastors. It is a pity. People at the point of death will wait for pastors' approval for blood transfusion or surgery. Oh, come on. For how long? Takani says, we took the vaccine, my husband and myself and my daughter, 19 years of age. We'll go for the second jab. We are waiting for the government to vaccinate my 8-year-old and 5 months. You're even going all the way down, yeah? Good. Need to protect your family. Don't allow pastors to protect you. No. Protect your family. Make decision for yourself. Trust in God. Trust in God. David Cole says, Pastor Chris and all the charlatans will take the vaccines while their idol worshippers will be dying while their papas are taking care of their children. Wake up, people. Wake up. So, you know, I think for me, it's a good sign that we're beginning to have people like Pastor Adeboye coming out publicly and saying they're taking the vaccine. Because you see, a lot of these guys will not come out publicly and tell you that they are taking the vaccine. They will not come out publicly. It's sad, but they will take the vaccine secretly, but they will never come out publicly and encourage you to do that. It's very sad. Well, I just wanted to share that with you. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel right now, please. Solomon's Temple. Subscribe and make sure that you follow me on social media, also on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter, Solomon Ashams. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, Solomon Ashams. I'll be back tonight at 8 p.m., which is going to be about 4.5 hours from now. I'm going to be looking at the third part of exposing wise man Christopher. You remember, if you check out last week, I made a video around it and played some audio evidences about his manipulative way and how he operates, firsthand from someone who would work with him and being part of his, you know, his team. And both of them started with TB Joshua, and he was a wise man with TB Joshua, so-called wise man with TB Joshua, before he left about 2 years ago and started his own so-called church. So I'm going to continue with that much later tonight. So please make sure that you join me so we can look at that and all that kind of stuff. Lorato says, thank you, Uncle, for the very important message. I took first jab and people are starting to criticize me, telling me that I took the mark of the beast. Nothing about that, sister. No mark of the beast. No mark of the beast. Aleta says, I have Christian friends who do not even talk to me anymore because I am not anti-vaccine. For God's sake, like, seriously. We must respect each other's decision, even though we have our perspective and also our positions when it comes to different things. So thank you so much, guys. I'll catch you again later tonight. God bless you.
Masinya Attorneys Incorporated, a boutique commercial and taxation law firm in Midrand, Johannesburg, South Africa. Strategic lawyers on point with more than 20 years of practice experience. We are professional, capable, and qualified.